They got the clocks clean in a place called Antietam, Maryland. They could have won, the war would have been over, but they had bad generals, so they lost. Black men had already been in combat out in Kansas. An outfit called the 1st Kansas Colored Volunteers. They were fighting the Confederates in 1861. We heard about them. We joined a unit, the first one raised in the North, put together by Frederick Douglass, Governor John Andrew, 54th Massachusetts Volunteers. We weren't relegated to shovels and picks like they wanted. We went down to South Carolina, went to a place called James Island, had my first stand-up battle there. I was lucky. I thought I'd had it. I had bullet holes in my pants and my coat and my hat. I got through it. We marched, went over to a place called Morris Island, and they told us, we're gonna attack yonder, this fort, a battery they called it, Wagner. We prayed, some of us cried, a lot of us took pieces of paper. My best friend from back home in St. Catherine's, I wondered what he was doing. He was sewing a piece of paper inside his coat, had his name on it. I didn't know any better, and I said, Frank, what are you doing? He said, tomorrow, if I fall, I want somebody to know who I am. And I looked at him, and it came over me. We were going into the attack first. We all might not make it out of here. Long story short, for those that thought the colored man wouldn't fight, we showed them. With that said, there were nearly 200,000 of us who went into the military. I was wounded later in Florida, a place called Olustee. I went back home to Canada to heal. 54th was back in South Carolina. This unit in Nashville, close to my home, was forming. They were taking former slaves, free men of color, the 13th United States Colored Troops. So I joined that. I went in with a rank of sergeant by me having prior battle experience. We guarded the railroad lines from Johnsonville to Tennessee all the way to Nashville. We fought the Confederates along the railroad lines, the Confederate cavalry. We beat Bedford Forrest a few times too. And we had reason to go after him, but we went after him. When Nashville came, December 15th and 16th, 2 brigades of colored troops took part in that battle. The 13th went in on the December 16th, 1864. I was wounded again, but our regiment was the only one that got to the top of the Confederates' position, and we ran them off. We lost approximately 60% of our men, officers included. When General Thomas, the federal commander, rode over the field after it was over, he said that he didn't want to hear anybody else say that the black man wouldn't fight. We even got congratulations from a rebel general. So after that, I was promoted to lieutenant, mainly because we were running out of men.
Okay, very good. And of course, we're running out of time here, Trooper. And I just want to thank you for remembering that information for us as a people and of course as a country, to know that in a real sense you are an example of what it took in order to really emancipate Africans. President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes, sir.
But it was the Battle of Nashville and those battles that you and others participated in that really emancipated all of us. And I want to thank you for that. And I also want to encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.